dang, the big part that people are saying is the threatened part, right? So they took from you stating, if you don't pay me, we're going to have a problem, to you're going to blaze of glory the Miami office. And then the guy that you supposedly, now, was it specifically your fleet manager that you said that to is the one that hired you as well? The guy that you would have a
Supposedly.
problem to,
No,
you
no,
know?
that was the general manager I was speaking to,
That was the general
and
manager. Okay.
he's not even here. They're all in Macedonia, Macedonia. Okay, they're not
Ah,
even here. This is why they're not coming on live with you. They're not even here. All right, they're in a whole nother continent.
this and that. And the person that you working for right now is that fleet
Is
manager.
the former fleet manager to LIB Enterprises, David Medic.
Oh
Okay,
my
that's who
Jesus. I
I'm
tell you
working
what.
for right now. They claim they paid for my hotel. That's a lie. They don't have
Yeah.
receipts on none of this.
No.
Okay, pull the receipts. Pull
I
the
hear you.
video. Send you a clip. We are now in trucker court, mother trucker court.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, no. So no, I'm trying to, because I'm trying to think this through, right? So okay, so I mean, I don't want to get too much into your personal other hustles, but like we see some things that you're doing with weaponry, and is that where they're trying to pull this from?
That's
I
where they're
mean,
going. They're off my social media.
off your
Off
social
my
media.
social media. Okay.
Yeah.
No one would ever know if I'm armed. That's not no,
Right.
you wouldn't know. Stranded goes. Okay, I'm never stranded. I got credit cards. I can get home.
I hear you. Yeah.
But
Yes,
it
sir.
was the way it was done to me. All right. But like I said, they claimed they have me on video, they have me on audio. All right, pulling out a weapon, brandishing a weapon on the fleet manager. The fleet manager resigned the next day and hired me. I now work for the fleet manager in Imperial Freight Systems.
So the
Okay, I
guy
told you
that you supposedly threatened, you work for right now.
I
This,
work for
hey,
right now.
What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. This segment right here is just talking about how there are trucking companies and truck drivers and trucking companies leaving truck drivers stranded or not communicating with drivers. And so Max Stewart made a video first stating that basically they wanted him to bring his truck into the shop, and then they terminated him, right? And so he felt used by that, and he made a video saying that he felt stranded. And in response to that, LIV Enterprises writes an email to Mutha Trucker News and states their thoughts of why this happened, and say that there were red flags, stating that he threatened the office and that he would just shoot up the place, and so he's responding back to this email. I'll put links down below of the other two videos so that you could see them, so you can catch up. But for the most part, Max Stewart is here to respond to these emails and allegations and state his truth of this.
been talking about this situation, and I thought it would be a great situation to talk about, because there's a lot of situations every day that happen in trucking where, both sides, there seems to be truck drivers getting stranded, a lot of truck drivers getting upset. And, we are pro truck driver here, but I do want to just let everybody know that I do try to take a journalist standpoint, because I read the comments and people are like, oh, Alex is giving a company an opportunity to stay their side because they're paying him. I'm here to say that nobody's paying me,
Disclaimer.
it would be nice to get paid, right? But it's one of those things where that's why I just do zero sponsorships for the most part, unless I own the company myself, right? Just for the fact that you can never really trust anybody. I mean, there's so many scenarios, and yours is, I thought, one that we want to highlight, because a lot of truck drivers say that, hey, when they're working out in Chicago specifically, a lot of foreign companies, and I actually have friends that own foreign trucking companies. So, and they tell me, like, look, a lot of people try to stay away from us because they're scared to work with us, right? So I'm sure with a lot of bad actors, there's some good actors as well, right? And so,
Correct.
Introduce yourself, brother.
My name is Max Stewart, man. Alex, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. How long you been driving a truck now?
7 years, my brother.
7 years, and so, the topic in hand is you made a video that got some eyes to it, And from there, a lot of truck drivers messaged me and said, "Hey, can you talk about this situation and maybe see what's really going on?" Because I see their advertisements and I'm thinking about working for a company like this, right? So I go, you know what? This is perfect. This is good because maybe by watching this video, people could go, huh? Maybe I'll stay away, or you know what? Maybe this is the best company that I should work for, right? And so, we're using your testimony, brother, as a one, So before the video, did this company treat you right? Was there good communication? I mean, do they really have 150 drivers?
Last I checked, it was a little over 100. Yeah. But I started with this company back in March of 2022 after I parked my truck because the rates got so bad. So
Yeah.
I figured I'd go back to being a company driver. I haven't been a company driver in over 5 years. I had my own LLC, and I was, you know, I was doing stuff with other carriers, and stuff went bad. So I decided to become a company driver, do my 65 cents a mile, and let someone else incur the cost till the market gets better, and I can come back out here and do my own thing. So I signed up with LIV Enterprises, and they were based out of Miami. I went to South Beach in office. I got hired. I did all that. I picked up my truck. I went to work. I lasted a year, over a year, but the miles were terrible. I was averaging maybe 2,300 miles a week at 65 cents a mile. That wasn't adding up. It wasn't enough to pay the bills and the cost for me to be out here
Hmm.
for weeks at a time. It didn't. The math wasn't mathing.
I got you.
And we went a whole year like that. And in March 1st, I got sick. I was feeling bad for a few days, and I had a pressure on my chest. I didn't know what it was. And I was at a shipper after about 6 hours, and I went inside to go get my paperwork at 11:46 p.m. It was raining that day in Savannah, Georgia. Once I came down this flight of stairs with my paper to head back to my truck, I felt this enormous pressure on my chest, like I was having a heart attack or something. And I immediately fell down to the ground. Another driver was coming in to get his paperwork, and he seen me. He called 911 and everything. I thought I was having a heart attack. Turned out I was having a pulmonary embolism, which is
Oh, you gotta tell me
blood
what
clot
that
in your
is,
lung.
because yeah,
It's a
that's
blood
big.
clot going into your lungs.
Oh my gosh! It's
Yeah.
now. How do you get one of those? Like, is that?
Inactivity, brother. Inactivity. You're not working your lungs out. You're sitting in a chair 11 hours a day. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'll be 58 years old on Saturday.
Still looking pretty good. I mean, you got nice
Thank you, thank
skin,
you.
man. I mean, it's one of those things. Minorities, man. We looking a little
Yes,
younger than
yes,
most.
yes. That's the Hispanic in me too. But and I went to the hospital. I got rushed to the hospital. They left my truck in the loading dock. They said they were gonna lock my truck up and so on. They did none of that. I got back the next day. My truck was still running. My iPad was sitting on the mount. Thank God no one went into my truck. It was cool. I appreciate that. But I checked myself out of the hospital against doctors, AMA, against medical advice, because I was under a load. And the doctor says, I don't recommend this. I took off. I signed the paperwork. I left. I delivered my load to Ohio. I called. That was over the weekend. That Monday, the company found out what transpired. And I immediately asked to go home. I said, I'm done. I made a video saying I'm done with trucking. All right. And I was talking about me in general, my experience of almost going through something traumatic, almost dying, and how I'm away from everything I love for weeks at a time. The money's not adding up, and it's not worth it anymore to me. At no point in time did I ever mention LIV Enterprises in that first video. But yesterday when you came on here, they gave you this long script. It was just bits and pieces that they were just taking off my social media and running with it. Right? And that's what's going on here. But I got back home. I was already fired. I already quit. I gave my 2-week notice, like they said in the letter. I did all that. I did that in February. All right. I was home. And someone told me, man, listen, you feel you're not going to pass your medical card because, my blood pressure was through the roof and it was going to expire like in 3 days. And whatever, I got on my blood pressure meds now in Lodipine, and I got my pressure down. I now have a 1-year certification. So I was back home. their truck was already in their Miami terminal. I was gone. I called that Friday about my paycheck. They told me, hey, you have to wait 45 days for your final paycheck and your $2,500 escrow. I'm like, what? Here it is. We're in the second week of March. How am I going to pay my bills? I'm thinking I have a check coming. They hit me with that catch-22 stuff. So, and while I was home, they asked me, did I want to come back out? I weighed my pros and cons and said, you know what? Let me go ahead back out, plan this a little more, save a little more money, wait till on a payday, and then leave. That was the plan.
Right,
But
right.
I went back to the terminal was like 10 miles from my house in Miami. Okay, I packed my stuff back up in the car after about 12 days home. I went and picked out my old truck was gone, 580. They gave me 560, which was a Western Star. And I was in that truck for 12 days, up and down, making moves. And they sent me to Massachusetts on a Friday for a Monday delivery. And they said, Monday, we got to send you back to Illinois because you're having an ELD problem. You have to change out the ELD. I said, no worries. Cool. It's miles, Massachusetts to Chicago. Good mileage. I'm a mile. I'm cents per mile. Okay, I'm looking at the number. How many miles is this? Okay, let's go. The whole time they already knew what they were going to do. The thing with LIV Enterprises is they've been downsizing. All right, they're getting rid of the company drivers. We're the least profitable. Okay, they have 150 drivers, but a great percentage of them are lease drivers. Those are the guys who pay the bills. I cost you more than it's coming in because you're booking off the spot market. Okay, I have to put fuel in the truck. You have to pay me. It doesn't make sense. If it's not about dollars, it's not making sense. So, but I didn't know that at the time. All right. So in the route back to Massachusetts, from Massachusetts to Chicago, I'm going back and forth with the general manager. And I asked him, listen, am I going to get paid for the miles, the deadhead back from Indiana to Chicago to take the truck to shop? He says yes. And then I came back with the other question. I have a second question. I've been here a year. When do I get my raise? And if you remember, I sent you all those text messages last night. Okay, I sent you all that the whole conversation between me and him. And he was saying when my performance gets better. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a company driver who delivers his load. And he says I'm often late. And I explained the only reason I'm late is because I can deliver at 7 o'clock in the morning. And your dispatchers, instead of pre-booking or looking the day before, they wait till I call in, submit the BOL saying I'm empty to start looking for another load. 2 o'clock comes around. Oh, we found you a load. I've been sitting 7 hours. You know what I'm saying? My day is practically gone. I have to run, go pick up this load. And I've got maybe 3-4 hours of drive time left. I have to shut down eventually. And then do my 10 hours and start all over again. This was a daily pattern every day, 600, 700 miles over and over and over. Okay, so that's how that played out. And in the end, at the end of the week, I was averaging 2,400 miles. I can pull up pay stubs and show you there's never been a point in time where I've had more than 3,000 miles in 1 week, in 1 year, and a whole year working for them. So I get back to Chicago and I go into the shop and I speak to the guy who's running the front desk, excuse me. And I said, I'm from LIV Enterprises. My company called ahead saying, you were supposed to come look at my truck. Oh, yeah. Just sit outside in your truck. We'll have somebody come and pull it into a bay in a few minutes. Okay, I'm sitting in my truck. I'm messing on my iPad. One of the texts come out. It says, okay, step out, whatever. I got out of the truck. He pulls my truck into a bay. First bay, rolls the doors down. Okay, cool. I walk in. I'm in the waiting room. And maybe 15 minutes later, the fleet manager from LIV Enterprises shows up. I've known this guy a year, David. And he was the bearer of bad news, but he did it like a gentleman. You understand what I'm saying? He was like, I have some bad news, and I'm sorry I have to tell you this. The company's letting you go. Naturally, my first instinct was to get upset. My whole life just did this. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, why bring me to Chicago when you just had me pick up another truck in Miami, where I'm from? I had to bring me up here just to inconvenience me. Basically, you had me come out of my house after I quit to come back just to take a truck to Chicago because you had no other drivers in Miami to bring your fleet back up because they claim they're closing the Miami terminal. So they just basically used me to bring a truck back and then terminate me. I was already gone from the company. I came back because, okay, they made it, They reached out to me. What can we do to make this better? This was all pre-planned. But in their email to you, they're stating that I threatened to shoot the messenger.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk
Let's
about
go
that.
there.
So,
Let's go
so
there.
okay. So let's pretend to be the company right now, right?
Yes.
I like playing devil's advocate because they're not
advocate.
here. Yeah. Let's play that. If you own the company, would you have thought? So they were. I mean, I'm probably just using my opinion here, but did they think you were a difficult driver to work with or something like that, or is it 100% they were using you just to drop off that truck?
And now that it all pans out, they would use me to come back out of my house just to bring a truck up to Miami. They ran me. They let me get a few loads in. Don't get me wrong. They gave me like 3 good loads and then shoot to Chicago. I get to Chicago on a Thursday, March 28th. You terminate me at 5 p.m. in the afternoon.
Now, did they actually, because you did use the word stranded. They in the email they stated that they would offer you a hotel, this and that. I mean, was any of that true?
That email came the next. It wasn't even. They offered me help the next morning, that Friday, after I posted that TikTok video and I woke up to 160,000 views. They panicked.
Yeah.
They reached out to me.
So that wasn't right away. That wasn't a hey, let me help you.
No. I couldn't get in touch with anyone. At the moment I was terminated, they had that one guy in front of me. That was it.
I would, man, in a way though, I respect that they had a dude come out though. Usually they just throw you a text.
Well, he had to come recover the truck also.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? He had to get the truck out of this little shop that was in, because that wasn't a shop. Okay, he had to come get the truck.
No, I hear you.
I didn't know this was going on all day. I wasn't the only one got terminated. Okay,
how many people?
Morning, man, they got rid of about 6 people that whole week, and we're all drivers.
Okay. So you made the list of termination.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they got everybody with that story. Come to Chicago, your ELD. They fired a team driver, a guy and his girlfriend that morning. I found out later through my TikTok because he reached out and I was there that morning. He said they left him and his girl stranded for no reason. Terminated him. Okay, there was another girl named Charlize. They got rid of earlier in that week. The day after I got terminated, they let go of female flatbedder. Same circumstance.
So it looks like they helped you because your video went viral. People had eyes on it. They go, maybe we should do something for this man because he's getting a little, he's making our company not look so great, right?
That's exactly what happened.
And we talked about this, but in the email when they're saying you're threatening everybody, I've never seen anyone threaten anybody and not call the police about nothing, right? And everyone talked about that in the comments. So, I mean, usually it has to come from at least somewhere. I mean, if you're going to have an idea of something like, hey, I'm going to threaten to go to the office and blaze of glory. I mean, where are they even getting this? Does it even make sense where anything would even connect where this would happen? Because I know you were upset, but did you at any time say anything like this? Because I'm telling you what, if you call a company right now or anybody and you say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, there's going to be someone coming to your house. They're
going to scramble for, yes, definitely.
Yeah. So clearly you're in the truck right there. So, I've never met nobody. I'm just saying, this is my opinion here. I never met nobody where someone threatened the heck out of my family and my people and my, employees. And then I go, you know what? Let me offer you, help. Because in the email, that I'll send you the full clip of one.
Please do. Please.
They stated that after that you supposedly threatened them. So they're like, he threatened that he would do this, this, and this. So what we said we would do is we would help him and get him home and, make sure that we don't leave him stranded. That's a weird, that is a weird segment to piece. I don't write a book or nothing like that, but if you do,
you common sense, you can read common sense. Common sense,
you know what I mean?
Easy.
Yeah. And so tell me this, where would this even come from at all? Is there anything
for cover? Okay, first off, like I said, the guy who they claimed I threatened in the mechanic shop, I was surrounded by 5 other European guys. One is holding a pipe wrench. They're speaking in their. They were waiting for me to jump off. After I calmed down, right after the guy terminated me, and I'm realizing, okay, you know what? Handle it like a man. This is not the first time you had to part ways with a company. I went
Yeah.
into the truck, started packing my overnight bags. Bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum. I had 3 overnight bags. I had to take out my TV, my PlayStation, my microwave. I took all that outside of their facility, sat it down, waited on an Uber. That's when I got on my phone and I made that video, the first video about
Right.
LIV living as stranded. As far as the word stranded goes, okay, I'm never stranded. I got credit cards. I can get home.
Iron. Yeah.
But
Yes,
it
sir.
was the way it was done to me. All right. But like I said, they claimed they have me on video, they have me on audio. All right, pulling out a weapon, brandishing a weapon on the fleet manager. The fleet manager resigned the next day and hired me. I now work for the fleet manager at Imperial Freight Systems.
So the
Okay, I
guy
told you
that you supposedly threatened, you work for right now.
I
This,
work for
hey,
right now.
this is this is a movie.
He paid for all my hotels.
So
All right,
he's the
that
one that paid.
Friday. He came, he said, listen, it's Friday. Monday, I'm going to send you for a drug test. Okay, it's going to take 2 to 3 days in Chicago to clear. He went into the motel I was at, to the front desk, swiped his card for 6 days. Monday, he went and took me to get my drug test. And when he picked me up that Monday, he was like, there's an issue. I said, what's that? He said the general manager, LIV, called him asking why he hired me. And he told him, all right, first off, I no longer work for you, and that man doesn't work for you.
This and that, and the person that you working for right now is that fleet
Is
manager.
the former fleet manager to LIV Enterprises, David Medic.
Oh
Okay?
my
That's
Jesus!
who
I
I'm
tell you
working
what.
for right now. They claim they paid for my hotel. That's a lie. They don't have
Yeah.
receipts on none of this.
No.
Okay, pull the receipts. Pull
I
the
hear you.
video. Send you a clip. We are now in trucker court, Mother Trucker Court.
Hey, no. So no, I'm trying to, because I'm trying to think this through, right? So like okay, so I mean, I don't want to get too much into your personal other hustles, but like we see some things that you're doing with weaponry, and is that where they're trying to pull this from?
That's
I
where
mean,
they're going. They're off my social media.
off your
Off
social
my
media,
social media. Okay.
yeah,
No one would ever know if I'm armed. That's not. No,
right
you wouldn't know.
here, right? I'm just for a second, okay. I mean, would they call that? They could call that as a threat if they want to, but that has nothing to do with you, Blaze of Glory,
Weapons,
jumping
yes. That
into
has
place.
nothing. No, that has nothing.
Nah, nah,
I'm
I
old
don't.
school, man. I prefer to me and you can go in the parking lot. We can just whatever. Best
Hey, and
man
we can
wins.
say
We
that.
get up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shake
We,
hands.
yeah,
That's how I
exactly.
was raised. That's how I was raised. I'm old school.
Nah, I hear you.
But at the end of the day, they're saying that I was hired by another company, Stewart Trucking Solutions, right? As in,
Yeah,
like I was a third party driver. What's my
yeah,
last
yeah,
name?
yeah. Yeah.
My
No,
last
I
name is
already knew
Stewart,
what it
right?
was. I knew
My
what it
last name
was.
is Stewart. Okay, if you look right here, I know this is probably showing backwards on your screen.
Yeah.
I am the owner of Stewart Trucking Solutions since 2019. Okay, I was contracted with them as a company driver. Okay, at
Mm,
no point in time was I a third party driver. That contract that I did sign with them was a 1099 contract to drive their trucks for 65 cents a mile. And that was the agreement. At no point in time, they're making it sound like we didn't sign. When they gave me the new truck to bring back up from Miami, they sent me an email talking about it was a lease agreement. And I texted her back, the lady in safety. I said, apparently you have the wrong driver. I'm a company driver. That was the extent of that. But in their email, they said, I refuse to sign some document. What
mm,
document do I have to sign pertaining to a lease? And I'm a company
mm.
driver.
Yeah. Well, you
Make
know
it
how
make
they do that
sense.
whole, I mean, I can't get into all of that legal stuff with the leasing, but, that's the whole thing to do with, are you a contractor or are you a company driver? And, if they lease you out, but they do it that way, then they could pay you 1099 and not pay you bennies, right? And
Correct.
so it's, I mean, I know all the hustles, and I'm not hating on any of the hustles. I mean, it's a weird time right now, right? Where truck drivers aren't making money. And, I've had people say off the record, Alex, I like working for these foreign drivers because they let me work and I can have 20 logbooks and I'm just
Yeah.
making money. And I don't, you know what I mean? And so I'm not saying that, for the record, I'm not saying that it's this company nor that company, right?
Correct.
Because I'm just saying I've talked to enough people that tell me that they do like working for some of these bad actors. They like it because they're the ones driving the rates down. They're the ones that are just like, you know
Of
what, just
course.
give me
Of course.
every single load that they can, and right now in trucking is a weird time. Right now in trucking is really bad. Like it'd be really hard to be a fleet or a company owner right now. Like that would
Very,
suck.
very, very.
You can't pay your people, right? Like you're not
No.
making any money.
No, they're not.
You
They're
know.
operating in the red. They're selling off equipment.
Yep.
They've been
Yep.
selling off equipment. And the funny part about it is that they're here like trying to, okay, they've lost face and they're trying to save face by portraying me as an angry black guy or something like that. That I'm
Mm.
violent. There's nothing violent about me. I have an education. Okay, I have a 138 IQ. I think before I leap. All right, and I know there are ramifications of everything I do in this life. So, and I'm not going to let this company right now trick me out of my freedom, trick me off these streets, like they say. No way, no how. Not at my age. All right, I'm going to move accordingly, but I'm not. What I'm not going to let happen is you're going to run through me, take my money, and I'm just forget about it. Because this is what it
Mm.
is. They claim they have 150 drivers. Every driver is
Right.
required to put up $2,500 in escrow. If you do the math, that's $375,000 they have an account, right,
Right.
of our drivers' money. All right, the company folds, they still got this money in reserve, and the drivers are not going to get it. All right, you can ask anybody in your, send a shout out to any former Live drivers. Ask them if they get that money, did they get their escrow? They're going to tell you no.
Mm.
But
And
me as a
it's
company
like renting an
driver,
apartment.
yeah, exactly,
You're not getting
exactly,
your deposit, man. Oh
exactly.
man, it's no,
There's,
it's a. I'm trying to think. No, it's a. What is your advice for people right now that want to make it in trucking? Because
God, right now we're surviving in trucking. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, this industry is rock bottom for us, but I have a feeling it's got to change. I mean,
yeah,
we were the rock stars during the pandemic. I made so much money. I bought a new house, new cars, and paid off my truck. But all right, with good times come the bad. Okay, and we're in a bad season right now. But to anyone coming into this game, take it slow. All right, it's not like before where everybody thought they were going to be millionaires during the pandemic. How many new companies popped up during that pandemic? Everybody and their mother bought a truck and
yeah,
started an LLC. And this is why we're so oversaturated today. All right, but there it's been dwindling out. The weeds are thinning out. There's the ones that can't make it. I've been here for 7 years. I'm not going anywhere. All right, I came to get what I'm worth and not a penny less. But to the other drivers out there, man, be careful. Do your research on these companies. Okay, I call it the Chicagoland cartel. I'm thinking about doing a documentary on that.
but just be
Eh,
careful.
yeah, hey, I wouldn't be surprised they sent a Serbian hit squad at me real
No,
soon.
no, 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 not that. But it's just, it's one of those things where it's. I mean, right now, and it'd be interesting, if they jumped on the show and really told their piece. Right now, what it sounds like is they're trying to save face and they're just trying to not look like the bad guy, right? Because they feel like it's hurting their company, right? And that's
Yes, they didn't expect for the outcome that I had. I wasn't expecting the outcome. And to all the drivers that were in my comments offering me help and way home and put up I thank every last one of them. All right. But like I said, I was straight. I didn't, as far as money wise, I'm always good. I'm always good. But there was a lot of outpouring from the trucking community that day. And I woke up to over 160,000 views, 10,000 comments, and I haven't been till the day it's still chiming. I haven't been able to read all the comments. But
yeah, welcome to my world. I get a
I can
thousand comments a
imagine. I
day.
can imagine
I'm
now.
trying because I just make videos on my phone, right? So that's all I do. I don't, I've been making videos now for about 8 years, 9 years, so
Okay.
straight. So I made over 8,000 videos. So it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, um, anytime there's been a lot of situations where it does work out, where someone tows someone's truck, and now the bill's 40,000. I make a video, it goes
Wow.
viral. They give him back his truck.
Now,
What I mean?
see, you're providing a service. Keep it
So
up.
that's the thing. That's
Keep
the
it
thing,
up. You're
And I don't
providing a
read any of the
service.
comments, and I understand, like, when I make a video at that moment, it's easy for, everyone at all sides to be very angry at me. So I understand that, right? But but I mean well, as far as I want to. I think this is a great example of just, this type of situations happening everywhere. So for everybody that's a truck driver, I'm not telling you record everything. I'm saying maybe have everything on email. Have everything recorded, because things could get twisted, right? And and then there's still going to be some people that at the end of this interview, all you're doing is responding back to the things that they said about you, and they'll go, no, 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 I believe, you know, I believe the company. I don't believe the driver. Other people are, but
You've seen the comments, right? I said the same
but
thing
I
2
would
days
say
ago.
probably,
I was a hero.
yeah, but I would say 90%, 95% is saying, nah, I'm looking at their Google reviews. I'm talking to my friends. I believe this driver. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where if you're a truck driver or if you're a company owner, try your best to just treat everybody the really best you can the first time
That's all
around.
you can do out here. That's all you can do. But after these people give you their all, and then for you to bring them on a ruse, on a lie, if you would have told me, "Hey, listen, this is not working out. We're going to need you to bring," okay, I could have planned accordingly.
Dang, the big part that people are saying is the threatened part, right? So they took from you stating, if you don't pay me, we're going to have a problem, to you're going to blaze of glory the Miami office. And then the guy that you supposedly, now, was it specifically your fleet manager that you said that to is the one that hired you as well? The guy that you would have a
Supposedly,
problem to,
no,
you
no,
know?
that was the general manager I was speaking to,
That was the general
and
manager. Okay.
he's not even here. They're all in Macedonia. Okay, they're not
Ah,
even here. This is why they're not coming on live with you. They're not even here. All right, they're in a whole nother continent, trying to be
yeah,
cute with this and trying to discredit me and slander me and defame me. All right, they don't realize they've just left themselves open for a very big lawsuit with all these allegations because they have no video, they have no audio, they have nothing, they have no receipts of a hotel that they paid for. All right, where are the receipts? I bought mine. Where are theirs? I am
yeah.
here today. Where are they?
Yeah, and I could, and that's the thing is, it's interesting because they said they have screenshots and this and that. You know.
Any screenshot they have, they took off my social media profile. Okay, they don't have a video of me ever drinking in this truck. Okay, they talking about, oh, what they said, I drink something like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sir, I don't know where. As far as drinking is concerned, I work my clock, and then when I get out the truck, I take a shower. I might go to an Applebee's. I might go to Chili's. I might go to, TGI Fridays. I like those little spots, so I'm entitled to have a nice burger with a beer because that's my thing. I like Heineken.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I don't know where and all that they claim, and I don't know if you can see these are what they say I've been drinking. These are my pictures. That's a Stella
Yeah.
Artois with a shot of rum. Okay, that's a chicken salad. There goes another beer. A shot
So
of
they're
tequila.
just taking everything out of your social media. So
That's all, and running with it. They're just
right,
grabbing at straws right now, trying to discredit me, and it's not going to work because I am here in front of you today,
yeah,
stating my case. Where are they? They sent you a piece of paper with no signature.
yeah, yeah.
Nothing. Feel free to contact us. Come on, you guys don't want that problem.
Right.
I was
Well,
going to go
when you
away.
call them, it's just going to be their office number, right? That's
Yeah,
what that would be, anyways, right?
yeah.
So
And you have to go through extensions.
yeah, I heard that.
But I
Yeah,
can give you a
no.
bunch of extension numbers.
I tell you what. I'll tell you what. No, at the end of this, I think this is just educational for new drivers. You know what I mean? And again, sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes it's like uh, I'll have someone on the show, and I'm like, man, they're very difficult. They're like, yeah, I did beat up the fleet manager, and then I did slash his tires, but why did they fire me? And I'm like, I kind of get it, but
No, no, no.
in this situation, they, I mean, the people that you supposedly threatened, one of the guys hired you.
The main guy I supposedly threatened that I'm on video brandishing weapons, and nobody can tell you no one would know no one can tell you I brandished anything. I did anything of a sort. After I received the news, I got in the truck. I packed my bags. What? The damage is done. Mac, you're terminated. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Save space. Go out like a man. It's not the first time I've had to empty out a truck at the last minute. I've worked for several Chicago companies. What I normally do, I drive my car to Chicago and leave it on their yard and put a car cover over it. All right, in case we have to break ties, my truck is in your yard. My car is in your yard. I load up my Suburban. I'm gone. Back to Florida. I've done that with 2 companies. This one, I didn't do it because the terminal was 10 miles from my house in Miami. It was sweet.
Right.
It was sweet. I didn't have to do all that. Their truck was in their yard already when I came home after my medical incident. They came back. Okay, did you get your medical card? I said, yeah. I uploaded to them. They went through, and they gave me a load. I said, might as well go back to work. I'm not gonna get paid for 45 days. I need an income.
Yeah.
And I went back to work. I said, let me ride this out a little longer and plan more strategically. But they were already 2 steps ahead of me. They got me out of my house to pretend I was going back to work just to take one of their trucks and bring it back to Chicago.
Yeah, you're one of 6, right?
Huh?
You're one of 6
One of 6
drivers
that week.
in that week. Ah, dang.
All right. The flatbed girl who they let go, she works for us now. All right. This guy's been saving everybody from the fleet manager. All right. He pulled a couple of good drivers that he said, hey, they did you dirty. You know? And he told me I've never, in a year that I've been here, he's never had a problem with me as far as, he'll call me, hey, you got to go get a PM. Stuff like that. That was his job. Okay, your truck is scheduled for PM, and I have to call him for the payment. That was the extent of our relationship for a year. He's never had a problem with me.
No, that's great. I mean, well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're going out supposedly threatening everybody and then getting a job right away, I mean, that don't make sense.
They put my medical information out there. You know what they're trying to, all this to me, what seems like they're trying to make it hard that for the next company that looks at my whatever, oh, that was that guy that was on TikTok. That was that guy on Mutha Trucker. Oh, he likes to drink. And, and he has health issues. Now you jam me up, in a sense. They don't realize they've left themselves open for a lot of litigation. Now, who knows?
Well,
by the time I'm get done with them, they might say, hey, take 5 trucks. Which 5 trucks do you want?
Well, it's one of those things, do what you got to do,
That's, I'm going to, and I plan to. They just added fuel to my fire. I was cool with it. I was willing to just give me my money and this can go away. I was done with it weeks ago because this happened a few weeks ago. I mean, here we are in April now. We're still, and then now you come in April to respond?